The pediatric surgeon's words echoed in my head as I sat in the ICU waiting room. The next 12 hours are critical. We've repaired the internal bleeding, but Tyler's body has been through severe trauma. My 8-year-old son had been hit by a drunk driver while riding his bike in our neighborhood. One moment he was laughing about catching fireflies. The next he was being airlifted to Children's Hospital with life-threatening injuries. I hadn't left the hospital in 3 days. My wife Emma had gone home just once to grab clothes and check on things. We'd been taking shifts sitting by Tyler's bed, watching monitors, praying for each stable heartbeat. That's when my phone buzzed. A message from my younger brother, Derek. The photo showed my home safe, door wide open, completely empty. His follow-up text made my blood run cold. Family helps family. You'll thank me later. I stared at the screen in disbelief. That safe had contained $50,000 in cash for emergencies, Treasury bonds worth $200,000, and most importantly, Tyler's college fund bonds. Another $150,000 my late mother had left specifically for her grandson's education. My hands shook as I called Derek. He answered on the third ring, background noise suggesting he was at a casino. Hey Marcus, how's Tyler doing? You broke into my safe? My voice was deadly quiet. Broke in? Come on, I used the spare key you gave me for emergencies. This is an emergency. You're going to need money for Tyler's medical bills. And I found an investment opportunity that will triple this amount in weeks. Derek, that money includes Tyler's college fund from Mom. Exactly. I'm going to turn it into enough for medical school, not just college. You're too emotional right now to think clearly, but I'm looking out for you. Where are you? At the Bellagio. Don't worry, I'm not gambling. I'm meeting with some investors about a cryptocurrency opportunity. Ground floor stuff, Marcus. By the time Tyler's out of the hospital, we'll be millionaires. I hung up and immediately called our family lawyer, James Patterson. Marcus, how's Tyler? Still critical. James, Derek emptied my safe. Over $400,000 in cash and bonds. He's in Vegas. There was a long pause. Did he take the Berkshire Hathaway bonds? Everything. Marcus, those bonds are registered in your name. He can't cash them without your authorization. Give me 30 minutes. I sat back in the uncomfortable waiting room chair, watching other families navigate their own nightmares. A mother across from me was crying silently, clutching her daughter's stuffed animal. We exchanged a look of shared understanding, the helplessness of watching your child suffer. Emma returned with coffee and immediately noticed my expression. What's wrong? Is Tyler? Tyler's stable. It's Derek. I showed her the photo. Her face went white then red. He didn't. While our son is. She couldn't finish the sentence. He says he's helping. Some cryptocurrency scheme. I'm calling the police. Wait, let me talk to James first. Those bonds are traceable. 30 minutes later, James called back. I've frozen all the bonds and notified the Treasury. Derek won't be able to cash them anywhere legitimate. But Marcus, there's something else. When I called First National to alert them, they transferred me directly to the bank president. Apparently, you're flagged as a VIP. I rubbed my temples. Why would I be flagged? You really don't pay attention to your portfolios, do you? Marcus, your Amazon and Apple stock from the 90s, plus that early Google investment. You're worth about $30 million. You're First National's biggest individual shareholder. President Ashford wants to handle this personally. The revelation barely registered. Money had never motivated me. I'd lived modestly, driving a 10-year-old truck, staying in the same house Emma and I bought as newlyweds. The investments had been almost accidental. A college roommate who worked at Amazon, a cousin at Apple, both offering friends and family stock options I'd forgotten about until James had discovered them during a routine financial review 5 years ago. I don't care about VIP treatment. I just want the bonds secured. Already done. But Ashford mentioned something interesting. Derek's been to 3 First National branches in the last 6 months, trying to get information about your accounts. Each time, he was turned away. This isn't his first attempt, Marcus. My phone buzzed. Another text from Derek, this time a selfie from what looked like a high-end restaurant. He was holding a bottle of champagne with the caption, "Celebrating our future fortune. Don't worry, using my credit card, not the cash." I wanted to throw the phone across the room. Instead, I forwarded everything to James and returned to Tyler's bedside. My son looked so small surrounded by machines. Tubes and wires monitored every vital sign. His face was still swollen from the surgery, but the doctors said that was normal. I held his hand, so tiny in mine, and tried not to think about Derek celebrating while Tyler fought for his life. Emma sat on the opposite side, stroking Tyler's hair. "Remember when he was born?" she whispered. "Derek showed up drunk to the hospital. Said he was celebrating becoming an uncle. He's always been reckless," I admitted. "But this is criminal," Emma finished. "He broke into our home while our child is dying." Dr. Patel entered to check Tyler's monitors. "His vitals are improving. The next few hours will tell us more, but I'm cautiously optimistic." After she left, I made a decision. I'm going to Vegas. Marcus, no. Tyler needs you here. Tyler needs his college fund intact. Derek's about to do something incredibly stupid with money that doesn't belong to him. James has the bonds frozen, but there's $50,000 in cash he could lose. Emma studied my face. "This isn't just about the money." "No," I admitted. "It's about Derek thinking he can exploit our son's accident for his schemes. It's about him celebrating while we're here praying Tyler survives. It's about 35 years of enabling his behavior because he's family." "Then go," she said firmly. "I'll stay with Tyler. End this." The flight to Vegas took 2 hours. James had arranged for Richard Ashford from First National to meet me there, along with a detective from the Las Vegas Police Department. During the flight, I received 3 more texts from Derek. Photos of expensive meals, shows, and finally a casino floor. Met the investors. They're all in. We're going to be rich. Ashford met me at the airport. He was younger than I'd expected, maybe 40, with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. "Mr. Harrison, I'm so sorry about your son. How is he?" "Improving slowly. Thank you for coming. When someone tries to steal from our biggest shareholder, we take it personally. Also," he hesitated. "This is awkward, but my daughter was in Tyler's class last year. He helped her with math every day when she was struggling. Sweet kid. This whole situation makes me sick." Detective Morrison joined us, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s. "We've located your brother. He's at a private poker game at the Venetian. Apparently, he's been throwing money around, claiming his brother is a secret millionaire who's too stupid to realize it." My jaw clenched. He's not entirely wrong. We drove to the Venetian in Ashford's rental car. During the ride, he explained what they'd discovered. "Your brother's been planning this for months. He's approached multiple banks with stories about being your financial advisor. He's forged documents claiming power of attorney. He even tried to convince one teller that you were mentally incompetent and he was your guardian. Why didn't anyone tell me?" Each incident was reported to different branches. It wasn't until today that we connected the pattern. I'm implementing new protocols because of this. At the Venetian, hotel security escorted us to a private gaming room. Through the doorway, I could see Derek at a poker table, surrounded by stacks of cash, my cash. He was laughing, gesturing wildly, clearly several drinks in. So my brother's sitting in the hospital crying over medical bills, not realizing he's worth millions. I'm doing him a favor. This cryptocurrency deal is going to make us both rich. I entered the room. The laughter died instantly. "Marcus?" Derek's face went pale. "What are you doing here?" "Is Tyler?" "Tyler's still in the ICU, fighting for his life, while you're here playing with his college fund." The other players began backing away from the table. One of them, a man in an expensive suit, spoke up. He said he was investing family money in our crypto venture. Detective Morrison stepped forward, badge visible. "There is no venture, is there? You're running a scam." The suited man's expression shifted. "I want a lawyer." "Derek Harrison," Morrison continued, "you're under arrest for breaking and entering, grand theft, and fraud." "Marcus, come on," Derek pleaded as they cuffed him. "I was trying to help. You never take risks. You're sitting on millions and living like a pauper. I wanted to show you what that money could do." "That money," I said quietly, "was for Tyler's future. Mom left those bonds specifically for him. You stole from your nephew while he's fighting for his life. I was going to give it back. With interest. Marcus, please, we're brothers." Ashford stepped forward. "Mr. Harrison, we've recovered $43,000 of the cash. The rest appears to have been lost at the tables before the poker game." Derek's investment partners were also arrested. Turns out they were running a classic cryptocurrency scam, targeting people with sudden access to large amounts of money. Derek had been both a mark and an accomplice. As they led him away, Derek kept shouting about family and forgiveness. But all I could think about was Tyler in that hospital bed, tubes keeping him alive, while his uncle celebrated stealing his future. I flew back immediately. Emma was asleep in the chair beside Tyler's bed, holding his hand. She woke when I entered. The doctor came by. His brain activity is increasing. They think he might wake up soon. I collapsed into the chair beside her, exhaustion hitting me all at once. Derek's been arrested. We recovered most of the cash. The bonds are safe. Good. She leaned against my shoulder. What will happen to him? Prison, probably. The prosecutor mentioned 5 to 10 years given the amount and circumstances. Do you regret it? I looked at Tyler, his chest rising and falling steadily. No. Family isn't about blood. It's about loyalty, protection, love. Derek violated all of that. 2 days later, Tyler opened his eyes. His first word was Dad, and I nearly sobbed with relief. The recovery would be long, months of physical therapy, surgeries to repair the damage, but he would recover. Derek wrote letters from jail, alternating between apologies and accusations. I didn't respond. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt with words. 6 months later, at Tyler's first baseball game after the accident, Ashford and his daughter came to cheer him on. Tyler couldn't run the bases yet, but he could bat, and when he hit a single, the entire crowd erupted. "Mr. Harrison," Ashford said during the 7th inning stretch, "I wanted you to know, Derek's case led us to uncover a whole ring of family fraud schemes. Your situation helped us protect dozens of other families." I watched Tyler high-five his teammates from his wheelchair, grinning despite everything he'd endured. I'm glad something good came from it. Emma appeared with hot dogs and drinks, laughing at something Tyler's coach had said. This was my real family. Not the brother who'd betrayed us, but the people who stood by us through the darkness. That night, I found Tyler looking at college brochures the hospital counselor had given him. "Dad, will I still be able to go to college?" "Derek didn't take that money, did he?" "No, son. Your college fund is safe. Grandma made sure of that, and I made sure Derek couldn't touch it." "Why did Uncle Derek try to steal from us?" I sat on his bed, choosing my words carefully. Sometimes people let greed blind them to what really matters. Derek thought money was more important than family. "That's stupid," Tyler said with 8-year-old certainty. "Money can't hug you when you're scared." "No," I agreed, pulling him close. "It can't." Derek served 3 years of a 5-year sentence. Upon release, he moved across the country and started over. He sent one final letter apologizing and saying he understood why I couldn't forgive him. He was right, I couldn't. Because every time I considered it, I remembered that photo of my empty safe while my son lay dying. I remembered him celebrating while we prayed. I remembered him calling me stupid for not exploiting my wealth while he stole from a child. Tyler's now in high school, fully recovered and planning to study medicine. He wants to be a pediatric trauma surgeon like Dr. Patel. His college fund remains intact, carefully managed and growing. Sometimes he asks about Derek, especially when other kids talk about their uncles. I tell him the truth, that Derek made choices that removed him from our lives. That family isn't just about sharing DNA, but about trust, loyalty, and love. The safe in my home office has been replaced with a proper security system. But more importantly, I've learned to pay attention to my finances, not out of greed, but out of responsibility. Wealth isn't about luxury. It's about security, opportunity, and the ability to protect those you love. And sometimes protection means standing firm against those who would exploit your vulnerabilities, even especially when they share your blood. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.